Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Rose Writes and I write and narrate Miraculous Ladybug fanfiction. I am doing a lyrical one-shot of the song When He Sees Me from the musical Waitress. Thank you to pinkpinkrj for the use of their amazing art in my thumbnail. She is extremely talented, so go show her all the love. Her link will be in the description box below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe if you aren't already. Also, leave a comment for the algorithm, that'd be amazing. If you don't know what to comment, tell me your favorite musical or a song you'd like me to turn into a story. Stay tuned to the end of the video and enjoy some bloopers of me forgetting how to speak English for 20 seconds straight. Now, without further ado, please enjoy When He Sees Me. Marinette sat cross-legged on her chaise longue, tongue out, right in the middle of some complicated equations for advanced calculus. She scribbled and erased, then scribbled some more. She occasionally checked the textbook to make sure she was solving it correctly. Her best friend laid on the couch, her hair dangling on Marinette's bedroom floor as she looked at her phone, flipping through some pictures. "So, when are you asking Adrien out?" So blunt and to the point as always. "I'm not. I'm doing calculus." Marinette responded just as curtly, erasing something she had written down. Alya made a face of disgust. "Why? Did we have math homework?" Marinette mindlessly twirled one of her pigtails, obviously distracted. "Not quite. I'm doing a pretest of the college entrance exams. If I do well on this, then I'm pretty sure I'll ace the real one." Her eyes lit up as she went back to writing furiously. "Ew, you're doing math on a Saturday? That's pathetic, Marinette. We should be thinking of how to confess your feelings to Adrien," she said in a sing-song voice, shoving a picture of them together in her face. Marinette batted her hands away, rolling her eyes. Anger surged through Marinette's body. Irrational maybe, but she didn't want to talk about Adrien, or dating, or anything else. "Just stop it, Alya, okay? I don't want to see pictures of us together or think about being with him. You want this. I don't, so leave me alone." She never screamed, especially not at Alya. Guilt flooded her insides as she stood, her back to Alya. Alya went from her upside-down position to sitting, her hands placed stiffly on her knees. "Marinette, why are you getting so defensive?" "I'm not defensive." Then she realized her voice was still raised. Clearing her throat, she continued, "I'm simply being cautious. I can't risk reckless dating. I've got too much going on right now." She stopped, fists balled up. Alya slowly approached, reaching out to comfort her. Marinette's stomach turned in knots. What was she really doing here? She loved Adrien, but he'd never love her. She couldn't say more than one sentence to him without becoming a blubbering mess. Alya flipped Marinette to look her in the eyes, arms still gripping her shoulders firmly. Marinette's eyes drifted from Alya's back to the textbook, one nudge from falling to the ground. "Look at me. Just one date. Just ask him to the movies, or hey, be brave. Ask him how he feels about you. What if he likes you back?" She brushed Alya's hands off of her, rushing to grab her math paperwork and closing the textbook. She placed it back on the desk, leaning on it. What if he liked her back? That's a thought she didn't dare entertain. She shook her head rapidly as the knot in her stomach turned into more of a soccer ball. "No, I stick with real things, usually facts and figures. I'm bad at love, it's too much of a guessing game, and guess what?" "What?" Alya crossed her arms, stepping over to Marinette. "I don't like guessing games, or when I feel things. I've been in love with Adrien for years. If he doesn't love me back by now, there's no hope. Thanks for the help, but I better get back to my book. These equations aren't going to solve themselves." Marinette plopped herself down at her computer desk, whirling around, going back to her several math problems. Alya shut the book with a heavy thud, then threw it across the room, scattering all of Marinette's papers and worksheets. "What are you so afraid of?" Alya demanded, getting close to Marinette so she had no choice but to look her friend in the eyes. "I'm not scared of anything. I'm Ladybug. I've met Hawkmoth face to face." Alya eyed her skeptically, not fooled by the tough girl act. Marinette sank down farther into her chair. And yet, I'm absolutely petrified. What scares me the most is, what if when he sees me, what if he doesn't like it? Alya pulled a chair to sit near Marinette, hugging her shoulders tightly. Marinette, he knows you, and he likes you, I'm sure of it. But the little buttercup just doesn't know he likes you. Marinette sighed deeply, then rested her head atop her desk. Alya seriously thought Adrien liked her? No way. He was in love with another girl that was probably brave, beautiful, intelligent, and not at all clumsy. Marinette stayed silent for a few moments until Alya spoke again. Just tell him you're Ladybug and he'll be yours. Who wouldn't want to date a superhero? She joked, but probably meant it. At least a little. What if I tell him and he's only disappointed? What if I give myself away to only get it given back? I couldn't live with that, Alya. Marinette stood to pace in a circle around her room, thoughts and desires spiraling. Alya joined her friend, taking her hands to stop the pacing. Or worse, he could be very nice and have lovely eyes. Come out of hiding, Marinette. Let him see you the way I do. Marinette looked at their joined hands, then back up to Alya. I'm not going to tolerate any more self-sabotage. Come on. Alya grabbed their bags and jackets, flipping open the trap door leading to the apartment. Marinette stood clueless as Alya was already halfway down the steps. Where are we going? Alya let out an exasperated grumble, still walking, Marinette trailing behind. Adrien has a photo shoot today at the Trocadero fountain. She paused, shaking her head. Why am I telling you this? You know his schedule by heart. The girls exited the bakery with a few pastries bagged up. Some for now, and some for Adrien. Marinette pulled her jacket tighter, focusing on her breath that escaped then evaporated with every exhale. What if when he sees me, I like him and he knows it? What if he opens up a door and I can't close it? What happens then? Marinette mostly spoke to herself, but it didn't stop Alya from rolling her eyes in response. That seems like a win to me, girl. Just be yourself. What happens then? Alya echoed mockingly. You live happily ever after, 3 kids, a hamster, and all of that. She nudged the anxious Marinette playfully. Easier said than done. Be herself. Yeah, right. Clumsy Marinette. That's who she was. Normal Marinette wasn't anything special. Ladybug was special. Could she be brave, beautiful, and intelligent without her powers? She could try. For Alya, at least. There Adrien stood, posing, a foot on the fountain, arms crossed, appearing handsome and confident. His face dressed with a smile that set her heart in motion. She's not prepared for this. She wanted nothing more than to run the other way. Hi, Adrien! Alya waved like a mad woman as Marinette dashed behind her, praying he hadn't seen her. The golden boy smiled in their direction, waving back. Hey, Alya! And, Marinette, is that you? Shoot. Marinette facepalmed herself as she stood straight, body full of tension. She awkwardly put one arm up. Hello? Hi, Adrien? Sir, I'm going to take a break, okay? Adrien said to his bodyguard, who grumbled something in response, pointing to his pocket watch. Sure. I won't be long. Adrien approached, buttoning his peacoat. Hi, how are... Wow, look at the time! Alya said, checking her invisible watch. I just remembered. I have to go. Bye, you two. She gave Marinette a parting hug to whisper in her ear. You got this. Don't chicken out. She smirked, then ran quicker than the white rabbit in Alice in Wonderland. Marinette's eyes grew wide, meeting Adrien's. Their gaze lingered before Marinette broke it, scratching her head nervously. Where did Alya have to go in such a hurry? She probably has a date with Nino or something. Was that a normal sentence? It sounded normal to her. So, Adrien, I know you're busy. I should probably just... As she started drifting farther from him, he took one of her gloved hands. Marinette, don't be silly. It's freezing. Come to my trailer. I have some hot cocoa. I'd rather share it with a friend than drink it alone. That smile ate at her insides, and suddenly she didn't feel cold anymore. Adrien aggressed with sunshine. He made her feel lighter than a summer breeze. Marinette gulped, nodding. The nervous teen followed the love of her life, still hand in hand. He gestured to a black leather seat, and she sat as he served her a hot beverage. Thanks, Adrien. The heat of the cocoa warmed her chilly fingertips as the delicious chocolate fragrance swirled around her. Oh, I nearly forgot. These are for you. She shoved the pastries at Adrien, knocking his cocoa onto him. She gasped, shooting up to grab some napkins from the shelf above her head. Adrien, I am so sorry, Marinette squeaked, wiping her mess from his skin and his soaked coat. Stupid, Marinette, stupid, she muttered as her hands drifted to his neck, dabbing at the sticky residue. Really, it's okay. No worries. Accidents happen. He spoke sincerely, but she still continued to beat herself up. Yeah, and I'm a walking accident. She scoffed at her own misfortune. Marinette didn't realize she had been standing too close until she felt a hand slip onto the small of her back. No, you're not, Marinette. She threw herself a few feet back from him, subsequently falling into the wall of the trailer, knocking the shelf down, napkins and trinkets seeming to rain around her. Marinette threw her head back and groaned, frustration growing. Adrien struggled to hold back a chuckle as he helped the klutz to her feet. Sorry, again. Her eyes refused to meet his. He wrapped his arms around her, unaware of what this did to her. When he held her, her heart was set on fire. His face was close enough to kiss, but she couldn't subject herself to such painful thoughts. Are you okay? Adrien looked at her with concern and kindness. What if, when he sees her, he falls in love with her too? What happens then? She looked into his green eyes, which she longed to stare at forever. Years of pining for him, and here she stood, 2 Oreos away from his lips. I'm fine, she managed to say. Your eyes are lovely, that's all. A blush spread across Adrien's lightly tanned skin. Thank you. Yours too. Marinette lifted herself onto her tiptoes, being at eye level with the boy of her dreams. She closed the distance between them. His eyes melted shut, holding her tightly, kissing her with a passion. Adrien, I'm... Marinette, still flustered, could hardly make any coherent thoughts. What did she do? How exactly did that happen? And what did it mean for them? He held a finger to her lips, leaning in to kiss her again. He saw her. The real her. Alya was right, as usual. He likes her the way she is. He's someone who, when he sees her, he wants to again, and again, and again. Thank you so much. Don't forget to leave a comment of your favorite musical. I would love to know. As always, stay miraculous. And now, time for some bloopers. She shoved the pastries at Adrien. She shoved the pastries at Adrien. She shoved the pastries at Adrien. She shoved the pastry. She shoved the pastry. She shoved the pastries at Adrien, knocking his cocoa onto him. She gasped. Jesus.